Coming up next on AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, the world's greatest short course racers take on a tight bull ring of a track, simply known as Dirt City.
I'm Haley Shanley. Meet the man who designed the dirt here at Dirt City Motorplex, legendary driver and track artisan, Johnny Greaves.
In Pro 2, Ricky G is bad fast, and the 18-year-old West Coast phenom is ready to hit the loud pedal. But is Ryan Beat making moves, picking the right lines, and ready to challenge for the lead? In Pro 4, will high-flying Kyle LeDuc continue his comeback to defend his title? Wily vet Johnny Greaves designed today's track at Dirt City. After 5 decades of racing, Johnny G has seen it all but the win, and he's ready to lean on his experience today.
You guys all just got beat by a grandpa.
Will a legend make history today at Dirt City? AMSOIL Championship Off-Road is next.
We're just north of Green Bay, Wisconsin, and legendary Lambeau Field. The cornfields of northern Wisconsin lead to Dirt City. Welcome everyone, I'm Brent Smith alongside Shane Stetsny, and we're ready for rounds 7 and 8 of the AMSOIL Championship Off-Road Series.
This track was built by racers for short course racers with full community support, and it is very quickly becoming a crown jewel of the short course racing scene, and it creates some great racing. It truly is a driver's track.
For more on the track here at Dirt City, let's go down Trackside with Haley Shanley.
I'm down here just inside the Cooper Tires turn 1. Well, what's going to be key this weekend? Reading the track for one. From last year to this, here at the 2nd annual Dirt City Off-Road National, they did add clay to the predominantly sand mixture here on track. That's going to help it retain its moisture. Now the track is expected to hold up throughout the day. We are faced with wind and sunshine, which is going to dry it out, so they're going to keep laying down the water. Water truck's going to be making its laps.
Coming up next, Pro 2.
One driver to watch in this one, it's going to be Ricky Gutierrez. He picked up his first career Pro 2 win back in round number 7. He's only 18 years old, but definitely one to watch. Another driver to keep an eye on, starting dead last today. Opened the season with 3 wins, hasn't been on the podium since, and that's Keegan Kincaid.
Let's talk about your 2 premier divisions here with AMSOIL Championship Off-Road. Pro 2s and Pro 4s. Well, what does the 2 and the 4 stand for to start out? Well, that is 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive. I have a Pro 2 just behind me here. While they're both full-size, custom-built pickup trucks that run DOT tires that you can run yourself, a couple key differences here, one being horsepower. Your Pro 2s are looking at 750 to 900 horsepower. Your Pro 4s are going upwards of 900 horsepower.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready, get on your feet. 2 takes the green flag, here we go. Kyle Kleiman going the long way around, trying to foul Ryan Beat through the door.
Beat had that left front tire picked right up off the ground. Look at all these drivers bouncing off the dirt berms. Just not quite enough room for all those trucks to fight into that split lane. Early on, it's going to be Ryan Beat out front, then Kleiman, the defending champ, followed by Brooks.
Oh, looks like Mamer goes around and collects a couple trucks. That's Brand. Tough break by those race truck drivers. We'll go back up front. There's Ryan Beat, Kyle Kleiman, and Jared Brooks, your top 3 early. You see that excess fuel coming out underneath Kyle Kleiman's truck. There's no harm, no foul. It's just breathing really, really nice.
Jared Brooks in the Bilstein, number 77, running in 3rd, trying to hunt down our 2 front runners.
Kyle Kleiman trying to rotate it in. A little late, look at this. We got action down in the pits. Ricky Gutierrez is trying to change a right front tire. So Ricky G, after winning in round 7, round 8, really struggling. Tough break for that whole race team. Yeah, it's really hard to finesse these Pro 2 trucks on a slippery track. There's a lot of babysitting of the throttle. You can't just hold it to the floor. You'll end up spinning around as you watch Kyle Kleiman really trying to put his head down to reel in Beat.
Remember, we'll get that mid-race competition yellow, and as this race goes on, this track will come in a little bit. It'll dry out and start to play into the hands of these Pro 2 drivers a little bit better. Still under the green flag as we tick off another lap here in Pro 2. It's still Ryan Beat, but Kleiman starting to close the gap, and Kleiman now has the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, Kleiman a 54.345, so watch out. The Wilson, Michigan driver really gonna pull it together here. Trying to reel in Ryan Beat. Jared Brooks now trying to look on the inside of Kyle Kleiman. Canada Tires against General Tires trying to work their magic to dig into this Lena track. Very, very small track, but I'll tell you, it creates some great racing as Ryan Beat is definitely showing the way around.
Beat continues to extend his lead, but this battle for second starting to heat up. Bit by bit, Jared Brooks in the number 77 catching up to Kyle Kleiman in the 42. Still a long way to go, 7.5 minutes left on our race clock. After that clock expires, the next flag will be the white flag.
Well, something's going wrong.
The local caution down there for
say.
a truck that happens to be stuck on its lid down there in the split lane, so it's going to be a full course yellow here.
But right now, we're going to go down to the third member of our team, Haley Shanley. What do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. Keegan Kincaid, he's on his way forward. You know, he did start last tag in the field. He has moved up 7 positions alone on lap 1. He was able to gain 1 more position there. So Keegan Kincaid on the move. So it's been 3 rounds. We have not seen the 2019 class champion on the podium. He's looking to turn things around here. And if he is able to do so, big redemption round for Keegan Kincaid, number 4.
Our pace truck has pulled off.
Well, be ready. Here we go. Beat doesn't waste any time, man. He caught Kyle Kleiman sleeping a little bit on that restart. Here comes Jared Brooks to the inside, trying to move Kleiman out. Kleiman will have the better grip on the outside. Oh, Brooks hits the tractor tire, takes him out.
And that'll collect Trevor Layton in the 31 as well. Mickey Thomas now on the move, looks down to the inside of Kleiman.
Boy, Mickey Thomas showing a lot of speed. We just talked about him. Here comes Kleiman back to the inside. He shoves Thomas out of the race line and says, hey, I'll take that spot back.
Very assertive driving there by the 42 of Kyle Kleiman. Kincaid still trying to close up that gap between himself and Kyle Kleiman.
You just watch as the back end of these trucks are really just skating around, trying to find that grip. I don't care what tire combination you have, you really have to rely right there on that cushion. Get as best of a run as you can coming into the split lanes as Ryan Beat. Kleiman trying to keep him true. Here comes Kyle Kleiman now to the inside.
Yeah, really closing that gap on Ryan Beat.
He's taking Kincaid with him though.
Yeah, not sure why Beat is a little bit off the pace, but it looks like Kleiman and Kincaid both are closing that gap up to our race leader.
Ryan Beat, that's what he wants to see. He wants Kleiman and Kincaid to start doing battle because it'll open up the gap. And speaking of open up the gap, Kleiman opens the door.
Way wide, they make door-to-door contact. Kleiman will be on the inside. He's gonna move Kincaid off the race line, pushes him way out into the soft stuff.
Kleiman just using that truck, not really hurting Kincaid at all, but hey, when you leave that door back open, you're gonna shove that truck in there and try to make that pass back. You got to realize these guys are the best in the business. They know what they're doing with these trucks. They're not trying to take each other out. They're just racing hard.
Time starting to trickle away here in round number 8 of Pro 2. Ryan Beat has been in control from the drop of the green flag.
Kyle Kleiman still in second. There's Keegan Kincaid. Here comes Keegan Kincaid to the inside again. Kyle Kleiman gets a little squirrely. Something happened to the left rear of Kyle Kleiman. I think he popped the tire, and I do. I see it underneath the truck.
Absolutely shredded the left rear tire. You can see pieces of rubber flying into the air.
Yeah, he come off that split lane, and he landed sideways, and all that force on that beadlock blew that tire right apart.
So that will hand over second place to Keegan Kincaid. Kleiman's just going to have a heck of a time. White flag is out, Brent. 1 lap to go here in Pro 2. Ryan Beat on his way to his second win of the 2021 season.
He's really trying to figure things out. He is the California boy moving towards the Midwest. Cool to have him come back, run full time. He's going to be staring at the checkered flag. The 51, Ryan Beat will take the win in round 8.
And Keegan Kincaid, how about that? Started dead last, 17th on the grid, and fought tooth and nail all the way up to second place. And Jarrett Brooks, after that spin in the middle of that race, is going to wind up third. Corey Winter will be fourth.
The AMSOIL Championship Off-Road on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AMSOIL. AMSOIL. Run with us.
Kyle Climbing going the long way around, trying to foul Ryan Beat through the door.
Beat had that left front tire picked right up off the ground. Look at all these drivers bouncing off the dirt curbs. There's not quite enough room for all those trucks to fight into that split lane. Beat out front, then Climbing, the defending champ, followed by Brooks.
Oh, looks like Maynard goes around and collects a couple trucks. That's great.
Beat continues to extend his lead in this battle. The second starting to heat up.
Here comes Jarrett Brooks to the inside. Trying to move Climbing out. Climbing will have the better grip on the outside. Oh! Brooks hits the tractor tire, takes him out. Boy, Mickey Thomas showing a lot of speed. We just talked about him. Here comes Climbing back to the inside. He shoves Thomas out of the race line and says, hey, I'll take that spot back. Climbing and Kincaid is starting to battle because it'll open up the gap. And speaking of opening up the gap, Climbing opens the door.
Way wide, they make door-to-door contact. Climbing will be on the inside. He's going to move Kincaid off the race line, pushes him way out into the sun.
Keegan Kincaid to the inside again. Kyle Climbing gets a little squirrely. Something happened to the left rear of Kyle Climbing. I think he popped the tire, and I see it underneath the truck. He's going to be staring at the checkered flag. The 51, Ryan Beat will take the win in round 8.
We had to come back swinging this round. We lost some points and some valuable opportunities in the first race this morning. So, man, just really proud of my crew. David, Dennis, Sean, Jesse Lewis, the whole crew, everybody supports this program. My wife, Reagan, Riley, everybody's at home watching. So thank you guys. And, man, shout out to you crowd for coming back today. We really appreciate it. We love putting on a show in front of you guys.
Coming up next, Shane, Pro Mod side-by-side.
One driver we'll want to watch, Kyle Cheney. He's had a really rough season. Had a fire inside the car in round 7. They've been up all night trying to put that thing back together. He's out for redemption. Another driver to watch, that number 21, Andy Klechka, made his first visit to the podium back in round 7 and looks to keep moving forward.
Here we go, Kyle Cheney, just like you said, he took off. Didn't waste any time, he just slingshotted out in front of Ronnie Van Eperen.
Yeah, remember in yesterday's race, Kyle Cheney had to pull off in a hurry because his car was on fire, so they got that thing back together overnight. He's going to be your leader here early on after starting from the pole position. Van Eperen, Rodney Van Eperen, number 45, running in second. Robert Loire is third, then it's Carlson, Wazak, and all the rest there on back.
Yeah, here comes Andrew Carlson in that number 15 ride, trying to get around Owen Van Eperen early. That's the number 5 Power Sports 1 ride. And you can see the track crew is laying down some water to try to keep this dust down, and it's going to make for some tricky situations here in the first half.
Yeah, just like we saw last night, the track pretty wet here in the early going. And when we talked to Kyle Cheney last night, he said even though the track was wet last night, much wetter than it is now, he said he felt like he had the fastest car on the racetrack.
Yeah, and he has had the fastest car out there for a long time, just the bad luck hasn't been going his way. I mean, if he didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all, if you ask me. For Kyle Cheney, that Can-Am, really looking strong. Here comes Carlson, yeah, I was just going to say that. He went way on the outside.
Looked like Van Eperen had a great run on Loire there, but Van Eperen scrubbed a little bit too much speed, pitched the car a little bit too hard. Here comes Carlson fighting back once again. Back out front, the battle for the lead tightening up now between the 91 of Cheney and the 45 of Van Eperen.
Well, there's that local caution coming back towards the hellhole. You got a car upside down. They'll both go really, really wide and go around. It's hard to get a number on our screen right now. Who is upside down?
Now we're going to send it down trackside. Haley Shanley has a report for us.
Check out this top 5. All of our winners so far this season are sitting there in the top 5. Robert Loire has been a multi-time podium finisher, still searching for that first Pro Mod win, but we have Kyle Cheney, we have Owen Van Eperen, Rodney Van Eperen, and 3-time winner Andrew Carlson just in the top 5 alone.
Pace car has pulled off though. Kyle Cheney from Millersport, Ohio will take control of our Pro Mod field. Here we go. Green flag again for Pro Mod side-by-side.
Yeah, Cheney takes off right away. We'll see a lot of shakeup in the back of this mix here. We'll have to see who gets through turn 1 clean. There goes Robert Loire.
Yeah, it looked like he changed his mind at the last minute. Loire did not get a great jump on that restart. Maybe some indecision there, and he tangles with Carlson there. Good save by Carlson to not go all the way around there in turn 2.
There's Van Eperen. Look at Ronnie Van Eperen trying to squeeze in on Kyle Cheney, and he's not losing him this time around, so watch. Van Eperen might have found a little bit more speed here.
The Can-Am of Cheney will lead the Yamaha. Van Eperen down into turn 5.
Ronnie Van Eperen running a nice line through that section coming out of the hellhole, going over what will be our finish line. And Van Eperen still not the fastest car on the track. Kyle Cheney a 52.500, so he is flat out flying around here.
You see that forward drive there by Cheney, just doubled the length of his lead there to about 5 car lengths as they entered the split lane. A lot of acceleration of that number 91 Can-Am of Cheney.
Look at Van Eperen. Van Eperen goes to the inside. Looked a lot closer on our camera, but Cheney just pulling away just a little bit.
It's still Carlson back there in 3rd, Owen Van Eperen in 4th. Robert Loire rounds out the top 5. So now we are inside of 2 laps to go, about 1 3/4 laps remaining here at Dirt City Motorplex. Kyle Cheney has been in control since the first green flag here at round 8 of Pro Mod side-by-side. Smooth sailing. There's not even really any lap traffic that he's going to come up on here. At least not in the near future. So clean air for Kyle Cheney. Just has to put together a couple more clean corners and he'll have a flag-to-flag win. Much different than his win back in round number 2 when he started dead last and had to work his way through the field. This time, he drew P1 for a starting spot. Hasn't really looked back since. He had that early pressure from Van Eperen, but Van Eperen slowly faded as this race wore on. He's been all Kyle Cheney ever since.
Yeah, he definitely faded off little by little, lap after lap, but right here, taking the checkered flag, Kyle Cheney, round 8 winner here this afternoon. Second will go to Ronnie Van Eperen. Third will go to the Elk River, Minnesota native of Andrew Carlson. Here we go, Kyle Cheney, just like you said, he took off, didn't waste any time, he just slingshotted out front of Ronnie Van Eperen. Here comes Andrew Carlson in that number 15 ride, trying to get around Owen Van Eperen early. That's the number 5 Power Sports 1 ride. Here comes Carlson, yeah, I'm just gonna say that, he went way on the outside.
Looks like Van Eperen had a great run on the wire there. Van Eperen's a little bit too much speed, pitching the car a little bit too hard. Here comes Carlson fighting back once again.
Yeah, Cheney takes off right away. We'll see a lot of shakeup in the back of this mix here. We'll have to see who gets through turn 1 clean. There goes Robert Loire.
Yeah, it looked like he changed his mind at the last minute. Loire did not get a great jump on that restart. Maybe some indecision there, and he tangles with Carlson there. Good save by Carlson to not go all the way around there in turn 2.
And he's not losing him this time around, so watch. Van Eperen might have found a little bit more speed here.
Kyle Cheney's doing such a tremendous job right now of finding that balance between playing defense and running the fastest line. It's really paying off for him. His line choices are extraordinary here in this Pro Mod side-by-side race. Van Eperen's putting together some great laps. He's having a whale of a time just keeping up right now with the 91 of Cheney.
Oh, Van Eperen backing it in, trying everything, and Cheney just keeps on pulling away little by little.
Kyle Cheney has been in control since the first green flag here at round 8 of Pro Mod side-by-side. Smooth sailing. There's not even really any lap traffic that he's going to come up on here. He's not in the near future. Some clean air for Kyle Cheney.
Right here, taking the check
Yeah, no, I'll take it as I can get it. But yeah, I started out front. Rod put me on the pole from yesterday. They go by lap times, and we had some issues yesterday. Got to give it up to my crew. You know, they worked their butts off getting my car back together. We replaced every piece of wiring on that car. We went out and raced. It did awesome. My Can-Am Power Sports Evo tune did great. My Maxxis tires were hooking up good. You know, they were a little slick to begin with, but once the track came around, my car started doing really good. You know, I got to give it up to my whole team. You know, my family came out to this event. It feels good to finally get the car together. I think we got all the bugs worked out.
When the community group that owns Dirt City Motorplex decided to create one of the best new tracks in the Midwest, they called upon their neighbor, Johnny Greaves.
Greaves at 22, been around a long, long time. He's going to take the checkered flag in round 7 here in Pro 4.
Yeah, I'm Johnny Greaves. We're here in Lena, Wisconsin at Dirt City, here running round 7 and 8 of Champ Off-Road. A bunch of sportsman racers got together and said, you know, we need another place to race as sportsmen, and contacted me if I'd come out and help them lay out the track. And it was literally a hayfield. I mean, there wasn't the hill, there wasn't anything. It was just a flat field. I came out here with my Pro 4 and we just kind of drove around. You know, they showed me the platform they had to work with, the footprint, and I just drove around a little bit until I found something that I thought kind of flowed. And, you know, then I got on a little bit, but of course I'm just sliding around in a field and I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of fun, it's kind of flowy, and I think it'll work. And, you know, with never the intentions of racing Pro 4s here, this group here is just amazing. They work so hard. They're all volunteers, they're nonprofit, and, you know, they built this thing from the ground up in, like, I think this is year 3, and I mean, it looks like it's been here for 10, 20 years already. I mean, it's a nice place. You know, obviously, people would like to see it bigger, but you get out there and you race on it and it doesn't feel small, you know. And from a fan's point of view, what's wrong with a small track? It's like a bull ring, you know. You get good, exciting racing, and you know, it's fun. It's fun to race on. It's fun to watch. You know, it's 20 miles from my hometown. What can go wrong? And I get my first win of the year and my 100th Pro 4 win. So it couldn't have happened at a better time. I gotta put this out to my crew. They work so hard, and my daughter Jessica just had baby Jackson. You guys all just got beat by a grandpa.
Well, Shane, let's take a look at our Pro Stock side-by-side lineup.
One driver to watch in this one will be Jason Luberg in that number 7 Polaris. He hasn't had the best first half of this season, and he's looking to improve his results here in the second half. Another one to keep an eye on is Jacob Rosales on that number 31 Yamaha. He's had a very up and down season, but at times has shown a lot of speed in Pro Stock side-by-side. But it's going to be Matt Wood who controls the field here. There's the green flag. Pro racing round number 8 has started. 23 cars headed for turn 1 here at Dirt City Motorplex.
Matt Wood backing it in early, rotating that car really nicely. You see a host of others. There's Owen Van Eperen in that number 5 Power Sports 1 ride, buttoning up on the back of Jeremy Houle.
Luberg got a really nice start too. He's running in second here in the early going. See, they're just double file down that entire straightaway. A few cars getting pushed to the outside. Like we said, this is narrow for the trucks. It's even a little bit narrow for these side-by-sides. So racing in close quarters here at Dirt City Motorplex. Luberg, Houle running second and third. Then it's Lego up there in the 4th spot. Just about 1 lap complete. It's going to be Matt Wood leading the first lap. Side-by-side battle for second, Luberg and Houle has a great run down the front straight into turn 1. It's going to be Jeremy Houle now up into the 2nd spot.
Yeah, Jeremy Houle doing a phenomenal job here early on. There's Brock Hager in the number 12 Yamaha.
Making his way through the field now is Brock Hager. He's up into that 5th spot. All over the back bumper of RJ Lego. Lego up on the bike, still on the bike. My goodness. What a save by Lego to put that car back down.
4 or 5 seconds, he should be.
We could have cut to a commercial break in the middle of that bicycle there, Brent.
I know, I was wondering when he's gonna set it down. It's like Joey Chipwood just riding up on 2 wheels.
Hager now putting all kinds of pressure on Luberg. Hager and the Yamaha going down to the inside of the Polaris of Luberg.
Yeah, Brock Hager just barely missing that tractor tire. Coming over that booter jump, headed back towards the finish line jump.
That's going to put Hager up into the top 3.
Yeah, look at CJ Greaves. He's setting this up on the outside. He's going to try to cross over on Luberg, but here comes John Holger. Holger kind of shuts the door on that idea.
This is really the first time all year we've seen CJ Greaves have a hard time getting to the front of the field. So far this year, he's finished second 4 times, and he's won 3 times through 7 rounds.
Here's Luberg going off that little roller jump. Here comes Greaves trying to outbrake Luberg. Luberg slams the door. They're going to be side by side coming back in front of the crowd. Here comes John Holger trying to follow him through the door. Well, that'll be our mandatory competition caution that time by Shane, and you're right. We'll have to keep an eye on what's going on, Matt Wood.
But for now, we're going to go down trackside.
Thanks, guys. This track is in mint condition right now, and that's the product of a lot of hard work that actually went in as early as last night. See, after the rain had fallen and the rain had cleared, they had this track very well sealed off. That's created very easy today as far as track prep goes. I was talking to race director Bobby Warrett just a few moments ago as he's been watching all day. He said what they've been focused on hasn't necessarily been particular sections of the track. Of course, they're continuing to add moisture, water trucks making its laps, but he said pretty much what they're just doing is pushing the fluff, the marbles, or that dirt that flies up towards the top of the corners. They're bringing it back down.
Look at this. They're all bunched up. Everyone wants to go. Matt Wood, he did the right thing. He kept everyone true, and he takes off.
That is the slowest pace I've seen when the driver took control of the field out of any race all weekend. Matt Wood really slow-played it. It looks like it worked out for him. He's going to hold on to the lead for now, but Hager is now up into second place past Jeremy Houle.
Yeah, Matt Wood better put the loud pedal down because here comes Brock Hager, Jeremy Houle. They all want a piece of this lead. There's the 12, there's the number 11 race-driven players, KTM ride of Adrian Cheney, and man, he made contact.
You see Wood now trying to hold off Brock Hager. That is a tall order here in the 2021 season. Wood's got to run some really consistent lines to keep Hager behind him.
Yeah, look at this.
Fastest lap of the race, by the way, is from Brock Hager with a 55.6.
That's just how Brock's been all season long. Him and CJ Greaves have really been in a league of his own, so they have been doing their job, but Matt Wood really showing a lot of speed as we're gonna go to a full course caution once again. Matt Wood, Brock Hager, Jeremy Houle, your top 3. There's Luberg in the number 7, as well as John Holger, a local boy, trying to work his way up to the podium. And he didn't have a great race in ERX Motor Park, so I'll tell you, he's about ready to try to capitalize on it. Here we go, we're going back green. Matt Wood, Brock Hager, Jeremy Houle, here we go.
Looks like a really even restart, but Wood goes up on the bicycle. Oh man, what a disaster for Matt Wood. He made the save, but he's gonna fall all the way back to about 10th place.
That tells you the pressure on him going into that turn 1. He just needed to be calm, cool, and collected. They forced him into turn 1, made him make a mistake, and now they're just banging back and forth. And that gives the lead over to Brock Hager now.
Yeah, Brock Hager in the lead. That's bad news for the rest of this field because anytime he's gotten out front, he's checked out, and there's big trouble. 5 cars stacked up. CJ Greaves was one of those cars involved, along with Bushmaker and Low Lego.
Brock Hager, here he is. He's going to take the win in round number 8, Shane.
Jeremy Houle across the line 2nd. Johnny Holger 3rd. Then it's Rosales. Wood did fight back to finish 5th. Man, Matt Wood has to be a little disappointed. One critical mistake threw away that race for him. Green flag. Pro racing round number 8 has started. 23 cars headed for turn 1 here at Dirt City Motorplex.
Matt Wood backing it in early. Here's Luberg going off that little roller jump. Here comes Greaves trying to outbrake Luberg. Hoover slams the door, and they're going to be side by side coming back in front of the crowd. Here comes John Holder trying to follow him through the door.
Wood's got to run some really consistent lines to keep Hager behind him.
Yeah, look at this.
Fastest lap of the race, by the way, is from Brock Hager with a 55.6.
That's just how Brock's been all season long. Him and CJ Greaves have really been in a league of his own, so.
Looks like a really even restart, but Wood goes up on the bicycle. Oh man, what a disaster for Matt Wood. He made the save, but he's gonna fall all the way back to about 10th.
Brock Hager, here he is. He's gonna take the win in round number 8, Shane.
Obviously got off on the start, had a good start, was decent, and you know, I liked where I was at. I knew CJ was a few behind me, so that was good. I'm trying to play it smart, and you know, he and a bike hit there and won, and my Weller Racing Yamaha was on it, so obviously a lot better than yesterday's performance, and obviously I'm a lot cleaner than yesterday, so.
Here he is, he's gonna take the win in round number 8.
Hey, Len Groom here, and I've got a solution for you. If you're working on a rusty bolt or a stuck bolt, AMSOIL's MP is the product for you. People have used it for many different things, but its primary focus is freeing stuck bolts, providing some rust and corrosion protection, and then it also displaces moisture really well, and that helps to keep the rust from forming.
The AMSOIL Championship Off-Road on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AMSOIL. AMSOIL. Run with us.
Time for the big boys in Pro 4. Here is your starting lineup.
One driver to watch here in Pro 4 is going to be Andrew Carlson. He's visited the podium a couple times this year, but he is very hungry to pick up that first win of the 2021 season.
They are about to be turned loose. Pro 4 about to hit the green flag. They're 2 by 2. Here we go. Lead of Wisconsin, Kyle Cheney, Andrew Carlson, Adrian Chetty, and CJ Graves.
Good jump on that start by Cheney in that number 91. Carlson going way to the outside. Looking for some dry track. They put a lot of water down between races.
Yeah, they really did. They put a lot of moisture down on the track. Here comes Andrew Carlson already in that Yokohama Tires ride, trying to get on the inside of Kyle Cheney, who just come fresh off a victory in Pro Mod.
Carlson made that pass stick. He kind of bullied Cheney right out of the way. Takes over this race lead here in the early going. Mittag running in third. He was fastest qualifier coming into this event. Right now, Cheney stuck between two very fast guys, but like we said, Kyle Cheney finally finished on the podium the first time in Pro 4 back in round 7.
Yeah, he's very, very strong in a four-wheel drive car, especially in these Pro 4 trucks. Trying to figure him out every weekend. Here comes Dougie Mittag. Cheney hits the wall. You better be careful you don't shear off that right front tire, as here comes Doug Mittag again, trying to rotate it early. Side by side with Kyle Cheney.
Now he's going to cross him over, goes to the bottom side in turn 3. Puts a door into the 91 of Cheney, and Mittag now up into second place.
Doug Mittag, Shane said it best, he was fast qualifier when we showed up here this weekend, so we know he has the speed.
Mittag really throwing that number 81 PNG truck around this course right now, trying to hunt down our race leader, Andrew Carlson. Kyle Cheney in the 91 not going away, but he has a back bumper full of that 33 of CJ Greaves.
Yeah, CJ Greaves now putting his head down, trying to hunt down Doug Mittag. He's moving Cheney out of the way and says, hey, I'll take that spot away. He goes on the outside of the split lanes, but Cheney will have that inside line coming in.
Yeah, CJ had a much better run though. He's able to pitch the truck around the outside, so CJ Greaves now up into the top 3.
Just needs to clean it up a little bit, hit his marks, and maybe Trad and the guys have set up that truck a little bit better today in trying to get it to set, but right there you see Andrew Carlson went over.
Carlson stuck upside down in turn 1. That's going to hand this lead over to Doug Mittag in the number 81 Hostile Wheels truck.
And we might see a full course caution come out if that doesn't change in turn number 1.
Man, Carlson was running so strong out front. But just like we saw in Pro Light, there's ruts that develop down there in turn 1, and they are deep, and they will flip you over if you're not careful. And I can only assume that's what happened to the 15 of Andrew Carlson.
Yeah, we're gonna take another look at it. Watch as Andrew Carlson comes in. Maybe glimpsing that inside berm, and look at that. Matang followed him through the door and almost did the same thing, but tough break for Andrew Carlson. As you see the 81 hostile wheels, Stronghold Motorsports Ford doing everything in his power to run up front here in round number 8.
What a heartbreak for your race leader, number 15 out of Elk River, Minnesota, Andrew Carlson, with his sights set on his first Pro 4 win of the season. What he was going for, unfortunately, as you had seen, went up and over there in turn 1. And speaking of mayhem and some repairs to be made, we did have a Johnny Greaves round 7 winner, did pull into the hot pit area. It looks like they just replaced the left rear tire. He did rejoin the field, so we'll see Johnny back in action here, but tough break for Andrew Carlson. It does look like he is communicating with officials, so that is good news. Stay tuned for more updates on AC.
So it'll be interesting to watch in this second half of the race. Remember, 6 minutes to go. When we take the green flag, here we go. Doug Matang, CJ Greaves, Jimmy Henderson, your top 3. As Kyle LeDuc now in the top 4. We'll see who can run down our race leader, Doug Matang.
All these trucks just fighting the ruts here at Dirt City Motorplex. Matang driving it backwards there in turn 2. Early rotation on that 81 hostile wheels truck.
Yeah, you got to remember Doug Matang. Him and his father, Chad Matang, they build these trucks for a lot of different teams, but that truck right there is Stilo, one of Kyle LeDuc's old trucks, so we know it has a lot of speed, and it was a championship truck as well, and Doug Matang, he can really wheel these things.
LeDuc pitching it very hard, and so does Henderson. They make door-to-door contact. Henderson just overcooked it down there in turn 5. But LeDuc on the charge at this point, over 5 minutes to go.
My eyes are always set on the rear of these trucks, because when you make contact like that with 4-wheel drive, those tires are always spinning, so hopefully it didn't shred anything off of LeDuc for his sake. As look at CJ Greaves backing it in early. Just love how these Pro 4 trucks rotate. They huck it back and forth, 900 plus horsepower underneath the hood of these machines, and they just tear this facility up. Remember, we talked about the points battle and opening ceremonies here earlier. Kyle LeDuc is only 7 points behind CJ Greaves coming into this race, so right now they're neck and neck. Look at CJ Greaves really hunting down Doug Matang. It don't look like he's really gained much, but he's creeping in about a quarter of a truck length every lap. As we're gonna take another look at this replay, John Greaves comes in and just clips Kyle Cheney and tips him over 3-4 times.
Yeah, that was a lot of contact there between those two drivers. We're gonna go down trackside once again with Haley Shanley.
Thanks, guys. I was chatting with Ray Stamper here from Carlson Motorsports, working with Andrew Carlson, of course, just a few moments ago, and I asked if there's anything they're keeping an eye on here. Of course, he went up and over outside of turn 1 there. He said they're watching the oil pressure. When you're upside down for that long, that can be problematic. So hasn't seemed to be an issue just yet. We did see Andrew Carlson go right through the work area here. They did swap out that right rear, but he's back on track, ready to refire.
Well, we're gonna keep our eyes on turn 1 on this restart. Back to green flag racing. Matang, Greaves, LeDuc, your top 3.
Keep an eye on these front 3 trucks. Here comes Kyle LeDuc to the inside. LeDuc trying to make his way in. He sneaks underneath CJ Greaves. They're going to be side by side.
Kyle LeDuc ran out of room there in the split lane, so now he'll have to go back to work. CJ Greaves up on the bike. That's going to open the door for LeDuc. Kyle LeDuc now up into second place, and he is on the charge.
Kyle LeDuc gonna try to hunt down his old truck. Stilo just right out in front. Doug Matang behind the wheel. He's ran a flawless race. We'll see if Kyle LeDuc can reach the back bumper. Remember, green, white, checkered. LeDuc backs it in, almost stalls the truck.
Once again onto the AMSOIL front straight. Doug Matang will take the white flag here in round 8. And down into turn 1 they go for the final time. Last time through here, Matang got up on the bicycle a little bit. We'll see if they can navigate these ruts. Looks like all 3 of our top drivers made it through just fine.
That's what I was just gonna say. Watch out, this thing ain't over yet, because you catch a rut, you can go up and over instantly as they all back it into the infield. A couple turns to go. Can Doug Matang get the job done? But here comes Leduc again.
Leduc letting it all hang out here in turn 3.
Oh, something happened to Matang.
Matang off the pace just for a moment. That's going to hand the lead over to Kyle Leduc. Now CJ Greaves bullies his way by Matang.
The lead goes to Kyle Leduc. Leduc now throws it into the hellhole. CJ Greaves going to try to make one more run at this. The checkered flag's flying. Kyle Leduc's going to pick up another W in Pro 4.
CJ Greaves second. The 44 of Henderson across the line in third. Matang fourth. Carlson will finish a lap down. Unofficially, I've got Scotty Lawrence up there in the top 5.
And there he is. He's going to climb out of his truck, put his arms in the air. From Fairhope, Alabama, the number 99 Monster Energy back ride, Kyle Leduc. Here we go, Lena, Wisconsin.
Cheney, that number 91, Carlson going way to the outside.
Thank you for David Carlson already, the Yokohama Tires ride, trying to get on the inside of Kyle Cheney, who just come fresh off a victory in Pro Mod.
Carlson made that pass stick. He kind of bullied Cheney right out of the way. Takes over this race lead here in the early going.
As Kyle Leduc now in the top 4. We'll see who can run down our race leader, Doug Matang.
Leduc pitching it very hard, and so does Henderson. They make door-to-door contact. Henderson just overcooked it down there in turn 5. CJ Greaves still trying to hunt down our race leader, Doug Matang. Down again into turn 5.
Here comes Kyle Leduc to the inside. Leduc trying to make his way in. He sneaks underneath CJ Greaves. They're going to be side by side.
Kyle Leduc ran out of room there in the split lane, so now he'll have to go back to work. CJ Greaves up on the bike. That's going to open the door for Leduc.
Can Doug Matang get the job done? But here comes Leduc again.
Leduc letting it all hang out here in turn 3.
Oh, something happened to Matang.
Matang off the pace just for a moment. That's going to hand the lead over to Kyle Leduc. Now CJ Greaves bullies his way by Matang.
The lead goes to Kyle Leduc. Leduc now throws it into the hellhole. CJ Greaves going to try to make one more run at this. The checkered flag's flying. Kyle Leduc's going to pick up another W in Pro 4.
This is a super tight, gnarly track, and we're beating up these trucks. So I hope you guys understand what we put ourselves in these trucks through to see these cars flipped over and tires ripped off. Like, we're pushing hard. So we put our heads down. You know, Trad doesn't think anything less of me anytime I drive the car. So we put the best parts in it. Trad, Dylan, my family. You know, we had friends show up out of nowhere and just put this whole truck together and raced 2 times in one day, and the track nailed it. The fans are here. Everyone at home, you know, on the West Coast, down south where I'm from, and just everybody that tunes in. And we can't do this without you guys watching us and supporting us.
Here's a look at our Pro 4 points after 8 rounds of racing.
Well, the racing here at Dirt City Motorplex has been terrific all weekend, Brent. Our points battles are tightening up. I can't wait to get to the rest of this season.
For Haley Shanley and Shane Stetsny, I'm Brent Smith. We'll see you next time here at AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.